Shalom, Yasharala. This is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So just getting into it, man, hey, measuring the time diligently. We at the end all be all, man, and it's now being made known who's the Lord's servants, man. It's now being made known of everything is becoming clear now, right? So I'm about to show this here video real quick. It's a really short video, but nevertheless, this is more or less like their propaganda they're trying to push, alongside with the New Jersey shooting, right? And then looking into that, we all, if you in this truth, all right, especially the men of the Lord that's on the highways and the byways, man, we can see through that off rip because like, nah, we don't do all the things that homeboy did or the things that, like for one, not having or talking about the Hebrew religion versus the Christianity and something like we don't push a religion. We got law, statutes, commandments, just like America has law, statutes, commandments. You don't say that being an American is a religion. We got law, statutes, and commandments. All right. And also penalties for breaking those law, statutes, commandments. So us being in this truth, we know that was pretty much a setup. All right. But nevertheless, we know that this is being used to demonize the men of the Lord. All right. Which is going into like we was kind of speaking on this last night in the live stream. But dealing with you have Saddam Hussein, right? They wound up propagandizing that situation. Oh, he's got weapons of mass destruction. All right, putting it into the American people's minds. All right, that this guy was dangerous, or terrorist, those type of things. When you wind up lowering a human being less than being human, all right, in your mind you have no problem with killing them, right? So just like if there's a mosquito on your arm, you have no problem popping that mosquito and killing the mosquito, right? And then also an ant, a bug, a spider, any of these things, right? Because it's not human. You don't have no problem with putting it to death, all right? But however, whenever you're dealing with humans, all right, sometimes, you see a little bit of yourself in that, all right? So that's why, it's, that's not as easy it is to kill somebody as far as how easy it is to kill a mosquito, right? You just feel something on your arm, all of a sudden you just, you don't even think twice. You just swat at it, right? You didn't even put no premeditation into it. You just, oh, damn, boom, hit the mosquito. Now, dealing with people is a little different. Now, however, like I was saying with Saddam Hussein or how they say terrorist or whatever, whatnot, when they like the so-called war on terror, all right, this is why, the American population is still okay with these wars going on in the Middle East and just constantly bombing these basically civilians over there because, you hear how they talk about if they got a towel on their head, they're guilty. Like, really, though? Really? You know what I'm saying? But then when we bring out things like Isaiah 14:21, right? Talking about the judgment for his children, all right, for the iniquities of their fathers, all right? But nevertheless, they would say, going into slavery, oh, that wasn't us. And that, that was a long time ago. Well, I mean, what if we act the same way you did? Like, well, y'all look like the people who did this to us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look just like them. So how about we just take it out on you? Oh, no, you can't do that. That's not fair, whatever, whatnot. Well, the terrorist that was in the so-called terrorist that was so-called in those planes on that day, all right, they all died. So why are you going over to a country that these people didn't even come from and start blowing them up, man? You see what I'm saying? But when you bring somebody less than human being, all right, it's easy for you to basically kill them. All right, go back to Salaki, I got, I'm a little sick right now. But go back to like slavery times, man. They say that the so-called black man was 3/5 of a man. All right, basically saying that you're not even all the way human. All right, so this is why, a little more spiritual than this. This is Esau versus Jacob. But nevertheless, this is why it was so easy for them to do what they do, man. Look at it today, man. They still have that same mindset. This is why, they'll see us walking through the parking lot of a mall or something like that. And, oh, there's a suspicious guy over there. Well, what's suspicious about me walking to my car? I just went shopping and I came over here, They don't think that you human. You ain't going to do no human type of things, Oh, I'm just sitting over here, they see a bunch of jakes in a circle talking or whatever, whatnot. There's something going on, But nevertheless, when they bring you to less than a human state, all right, it's, how do I say, it pretty much makes it easier for them to sit there and look at you less than human, and therefore they can do all kind of things to you. All right, you hear a lot of the things that they say to us, the Arabs or whatever, whatnot. I'll just blow them all up. They if they got a towel on their head, blow them all up. Like, wait a minute, man. None of these people did. That's a little kid over there, man. What did this little kid got to do with you? They don't even know where America is, man. You see what I'm saying? But this is their ideology that they have over there, man. But nevertheless, like I was going into, man, looking at this persecution that's coming, all right, which is pretty much here, man. like I said, man, we pretty much at the end all be all. Like, you know, we've been saying this, but now everything's being made manifest. All right. Now, if you got the spiritual eyes to see this, all right, the Lord is revealing who his servants really were. All right. Now, Salakia, dealing with certain things, right? First and foremost, oh, you don't think that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites, right? Okay, so then why are they propagandizing us as, you know, the New Jersey shooting, things like this, you know? Why is it that Donald Trump is changing some laws to make basically, you know, Judaism, all right, which is, how do I say, those Jewish people, so-called religion, you know, it's coming out the Babylonian Talmud. That has nothing to do with the Bible, has nothing to do with the Lord's people at all, man. But nevertheless, you know, Salakia. But nevertheless, why are they coming to, you know, against the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for saying that they're the Israelites, all right? You know, you have all these Edomites basically saying that they're all Israelites. Oh, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. And nobody's really checking for them. They're like, oh, welcome to the Jewish club. You know, they don't ever really rebuttal any of those things, right? But nevertheless, if we was wrong, why not just let us be wrong, man? There's a lot of videos up online and things that's up online that where people are kind of wrong about, or they just look retarded, you know, or the flat earth or whatever, whatnot. They don't take those videos down. They're like, well, just let them be stupid, man. But when it's us talking about we're the Israelites, oh, we got to change something with that. We got to make, you got to sign executive orders for that. You see what I'm saying? So now with that, that's basically a battle between, they're signing in a law saying that basically these Edomites are actually Israelites, right? Making it by law. And then also if you say anything about them, it's against the law. Well, why do you have to protect yourself so much like that? Just, you know, because why? You getting tired of people calling you out. You being exposed, all right? What is that? 2 Thessalonians 2 and I think verse 8. When the Lord shall consume him with the spirit of his mouth. All right, talking about what? The Israelites. Well, really talking about the men of the Lord that's on the highways and the byways, all right? Because they're going to be the ones exposing all the wickedness of Esau, Edom, man. All right? But nevertheless, the second thing to look at here, all right, you know, like I said, oh, we're not the Israelites. Well, why are they trying to demonize us for being the Israelites? Why do they propagandize us on the news? You know what I'm saying? They look like me, you, and Ray down the block. Why do they use that, you know, that imagery to push off this so-called Israelite stuff? Why didn't they get somebody like some Edomites or some Chinese people and say, oh, they think that they're the Israelites and so on and so forth, all right? The second thing I want to point out is this here sign. This, again, is propaganda, all right? So we would never do no shit like this, post up a sign like this anywhere, all right? Now, we go on the highways and the byways when we at camp, when we preaching, we have signs for edification's sake to teach, all right? Because people ask about certain things or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And we'll have the signs with pictures on there, all right, showing you certain things, right? Like, for instance, we have a sign of, how do I say, an artist's rendition of Yahushua, right? As being described in Revelation 14, right? So we have that image there, all right, for, you know, so when people say that, oh, you know, we'll tell them that the Lord was a so-called black man, they're like, I don't know about that. Well, let's bring out the scriptures. You know, we have that image, and we also have the so-called Jesus image, all right, with some history on there, all right? But it's not to so-called incite anything, all right? It's for edification's sake, to educate people with, all right? So when we read through Revelation 1, all right, where it tells you about, you know, the description of Yahushua, we can point out the two pictures, all right? He was clothed with a girdle down to the foot, you know, a green girdle. That don't really matter because you can change your clothes. But talking about the skin color, all right, he was brass as if it was burned in the oven, all right? And then he had the white woolly hair, all right, and the red eyes, all right? That don't look nothing like the blue eyes, stringy hair dude that you see put up, you know, who they call Jesus, all right? Now, dealing with this here name, they're not over here saying Yehoshua is coming. They're not over here saying Jesus is coming. They're not over here saying Yeshaya is coming. You know what I'm saying? All these, like, what is that? GOCC talk about Ahaya and Yeshaya, right? That's the names they tell you, right? You know, in modern Christianity, whatever, whatnot, you know, if they go a little deep, they'll be like, oh, what do they say? Yahweh and Yehoshua or something like that, right? But nevertheless, they don't have those names up. They have this name here that says Yahushua, all right? Now, again, this is propaganda. We didn't put no shit up like this, all right? We wouldn't have waited till after this, you know, after this situation to pop off to put this up. This is their propaganda. But what name are they putting up there, all right? Yahushua's name. What is this going to do to people who are starting to believe in that name or people that's coming into this in truth? Oh, damn, they got it on the news that, you know, basically that Yahushua is dealing with some kind of terrorist, right? But nevertheless, and that would, you know, some people that's not grounded in the faith, they might just walk away from that. Oh, shit, we don't want to deal with that. You know, Al-Qaeda, ISIS type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things, right? So nevertheless, and twofold with this, all right? Like I said, why are they putting this here name up, all right? And second of all, they can use this sign to deter people from coming to this here name. Third of all, What is the one, damn near the only camp that's pushing this here name out, right? Because you got IUIC to say Most High in Christ, all right? GOCC say Ahia and Yeshaya and all these different things, all right? But they're not calling them out. They're not persecuting them, right? This is the name that you're going to be saved by. This is the name you're going to wind up having to call on. So what they're trying to do is demonize it to the fact that, you know, if I got a house with a bunch of gold in there, right? And all my riches is inside this house. I don't want to make the outside of my house like a plush mansion. Like if I'm staying somewhere where I know that somebody gonna break into my house, no, I'm gonna make my house look raggedy, all whatever, whatnot. So people are like, we ain't even going in there, bro. They're like, the porch is all falling apart. They ain't got nothing in that house, bro. They don't even got no lights in there. You know what I'm saying? That'll be the last house that they decide to go into. All right, but what? You see this huge house on the golf course or whatever, whatnot, like they got something up in there, right? But nevertheless, that's what they're trying to do to this here name, man. All right, they're trying to put some dirt on there, all right? But nevertheless, we as the men of the Lord can see these signs, man. This is nothing but increase in our faith, man. Like I said, man, why did they choose this name than any other name? All right, why are they propagandizing this name? And what camp gave you this name? All right, you know what I'm saying? Well, this name actually came, you know, up higher, but nevertheless, what camp is pushing this name out right now, man? All right, but nevertheless, you know, in these things, man, you should, how the scriptures say, with all thy getting, get understanding. Understand these things is going on. Understand, you know, be able to discern and judge between these things, man. You know, you still over there and GOCC listening to those guys and they talking about Ahia and Yeshaya. They're not really getting persecuted, man. You know what I'm saying? They talk, you know, they got a lot of things going on. Most High in Christ over at IUIC and things like that, man. They don't have crisis coming back. You know, they're not trying to demonize them like that, man. All right. But nevertheless, I'll play a couple little seconds of this video.
Now, concern is rising in the Jewish community after
it's saying anti-Semitic signs found. How is this being anti-Semitic? All right. First of all, his name was Shem, not Sim, right? But nevertheless, this is the Lord and the Savior's name. But these are the same people, you know, these Jewish people that say that the Messiah didn't come, right? So that don't even make no sense, right? Now, this name Yahushua is basically who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, like, because we know that the letter J was like, it's not that old, all right? And when you go back to these different names like Yahweh and things like that, they didn't have a lot of those different letters. This is going into the Paleo Hebrew, all right? The original Hebrew, all right? So nevertheless, you know, you have to understand, it's like, yo, why is this against the so-called Jewish people, all right? Why is this name becoming a threat unto them, right? Because they're about to be exposed and, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you over here stealing from the job, taking money out of the register here and there, whatever, whatnot, right? And somebody wound up catching your ass and seeing you. Now, that person may try to be like, oh, man, look, I'll pay you off. Because why? They don't want to get caught. They trying to change up the game or whatever, whatnot, so they don't get caught. And this is what's going on right now. They trying to make laws to make that a religion, race and a religion. You know what I'm saying? A legal one. And if we say anything about it, then, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's against the law now. All right. These signs are against the law now. Preaching in this here name is against the law. But that was the same thing that went back in the days when Yahushua actually walked the earth, man. All right. They was thrown in jail for preaching in this here name, thrown out of cities, persecuted for all these things for this here name, the same name, man. All right. And now there's nothing new under the sun. All right. So it's coming all back again. They're not persecuting for calling on Jesus or anything like that, man. All right.
Series of anti-Semitic incidents over the last several days. CBS 2's Amy Johnson shows us and has reaction from local Jewish leaders.
These signs popped up near the kosher market in the 400 block of La Brea early this week.
This is cause for further investigation and hopefully some clarity as to who indeed is trespassing in this way.
Richard Hershot is the regional director for the American Jewish Committee. The signs spark fear for some in the community because they may have a connection to their horrific attack at the market in Jersey City.
Now, if you're not slick or if you're not wise enough, they should have said these signs may have a connection to this here shooter, right? This is what they're trying to do is demonize the real men of the Lord, all right, and keep people from calling on the name of Yahweh and Yahushua, all right? So you have to put these things together and be able to measure these things that's popping off, man. All right. And also hold on to your faith, man, because they're not persecuting you for calling on the wrong name. You know what I'm saying? They're persecuting you for calling on the right name. They're trying to demonize you for calling on the right name. All right.
Last week,
there have been pockets and clusters of an organization called the Black Hebrew Israelites in some of the larger cities and urban areas across the United States. Whether or not there is any link whatsoever to.
See what he said? There's a large number of groups, these Hebrew Israelites in pretty much all the cities and around the globe, right? Planting that seed into your mind. This sign, the Hebrew Israelites, the shooting, the terrorists, all together, right? But then he said it's not clear if they have any connection. So why are you even bringing that up, man? Why are you even putting that in there? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I think that so-and-so is stealing over here. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got no evidence. Like, well, why would you even say that if you ain't got no evidence? You just really just talking shit now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was at a job or something like that, if I was a business owner or something like that, right? And somebody came to me like, yo, I think Ray over here stealing and whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Me as a business owner might start looking at him a little weird. Like, let me start watching this motherfucker, man. He might be stealing from me or whatever, whatnot, you know? Planting that seed already into my mind. But nevertheless, this is what they're doing to the masses now, man. Because why? YouTube, we didn't flooded the damn YouTube with this. All right, they can't stop this word from going out. These camps are springing up everywhere, like he just admitted. They everywhere, man. We are on the highways and the byways preaching. And not only that, you know, they used to laugh and scoff at us, but now they starting to see all these things come to pass. The curses falling on Esau. All right, the wars and the rumors of wars being stacked up. The beast starting to hate the whore. All right, the RFID chip coming into play. All right, and people looking these things up. All right, so nevertheless, they seeing all these things start to take place. So now they have that fear on them, man. So now they got to pull out all their stops before they come out and try to persecute us, man. Because they're not going to just come out and start, you know, trying to lay us down, man. They're going to demonize you in the minds of the people first and foremost. Just like, again, Saddam Hussein, man. They could have just went over there and took him out. But then you have some, the Americans who be like, oh, that wasn't right or whatever, whatnot. All right, well, we'll give you a scenario where you ain't going to like him. He got weapons of mass destruction. He gassing his own people. He had something to do with 9/11 or whatever, whatnot. Then the people's like, go ahead, kill his ass. We don't like these evil dictators or whatever, whatnot. Like, that ain't had nothing to do with whatever was going on. They still ain't, to this day, ain't found out one weapon of mass destruction over there. And he had nothing to do with 9/11, man. If anything, he was actually fighting off Al-Qaeda in them, man. You see what I'm saying? So nevertheless, like, yo, man, they just demonize his name and whatever, whatnot. Muammar Gaddafi, man. You ask people about him, they be like, oh, well, he was a bad guy. We had to wind up killing him or whatever, whatnot. But nevertheless, they wanted those resources over there, man. So they demonized him and said all these different things. Oh, he killing his people, starving them out. When in reality, there was no homeless people in Libya. He made sure that they all had homes. They all, I think that if they got married, they wound up not being able to work for like a year or 2 years, and they was given like a house or something like that. College was free. All these different things. And he also wanted to make a, not a nationwide currency, but a currency for all of Africa. All right. And then they also had a natural spring that they located down there in Libya. All right. But nevertheless, they're not going to tell you any of these things. Right. They're going to just tell you, oh, he was a bad guy. He's killing his people, so on and so forth. So when they go over there and kill him, you know what I'm saying? You be, hooray, hooray, we got the bad guy. We got the bad guy. But you didn't even realize who the real bad guy is. The guy that's lying to you, propagandizing all these things, and going over there murdering people because he came up with these damn lies, man. All right. So nevertheless, this is what's going on right now, man. All right. Take heed to that.
Those who are propagating this message and promoting these flyers versus the horrific attack in Jersey City is something that we simply do not know.
The signs of
Let me go back because
whether or not there is any link whatsoever. An organization called the Black Hebrew Israelites in some of the larger cities and urban areas across the United States, whether or not there is any link whatsoever to those who are propagating this message and promoting these flyers versus the horrific attack in Jersey City is something.
He over here swallowing all the extra hard because he know he lying. He's just trying to make it, you know what I'm saying? I hope he believe me, whatever, whatnot. But really, ultimately, he's really not lying because he's not really blaming us. He's not blaming the Hebrew Israelites on any of these things. And really, he's not saying that the Hebrew Israelites got anything to do with this. The only thing he's doing is keep name dropping them in this whole same scenario so that you will tie the two together. He's telling you that, well, we don't know if they got any kind of connection. Just like with the dude that was out there in New Jersey. All right. They was like, well, we don't even know if he was actually connected to the Hebrew Israelites. All right. We don't know if he was actually in any camps or anything like that. Right. But then they wanted to sit there and keep saying that, oh, he was a Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless,
that we simply do not know.
The signs have been taken down, but you can still see the remnants of this one, part of the sign and the tape, and it was hanging just steps away from the market. There has been an increase in anti-Semitic violence in the LA area. The LAPD just released this video of a suspect accused of vandalizing cars in 3 Jewish schools between December 14th and 16th. And this is the man police say vandalized the Nessa Synagogue in Beverly Hills.
And to me, that looked like possibly an Edomite. What that got to do? We ain't gonna go there, man.
Desecrating a Torah and damaging other items.
Sadly, part of a steady drumbeat of hate that we've seen in America.
Her shop will be part of a special.
Now, steady drumbeat of hate. What about all these police shootings that they shooting Jake down with, man? All right, what about the oppression and the slavery that they had over here for us, man? All right, what about all these different things? We don't have no laws and nothing like that. Like, oh, when you talk about so-called black people, we got an anti-black people law or whatever, whatnot, man. Y'all persecuting us. Y'all been doing this for the whole time we've been over here. If anything, you know, they talk about the Holocaust and things like that, things that happened over, what was that, a couple years. I want to say like 6 years or something like that. All right. But nevertheless, that was over a small amount of time. They didn't even go into like a whole 10 years of that, man. So-called. All right. But nevertheless, we've been over here for hundreds of years, man. Still having the same treatment. All right. And now they propagandizing just like they were back in the old days, propagandizing things about us. Oh, they just savages, whatever, whatnot. We gotta civilize these people or whatever, whatnot. When first of all, we was the one that civilized your ass and built all the societies on the planet Earth and everything else like that, man. What you talking about, man? All right, but nevertheless, let's just get the scriptures, man. I only got a couple of them we're gonna grab. But nevertheless, I'm putting out this here video for you Akim that's out there that's learning, listening and learning or whatever, whatnot. This is not the time to be afraid or anything like that, man. This is all written about in the scriptures that these things is coming, man. But nevertheless, like I said, looking at that sign, all right, that should give you some kind of assurance that the things that you into, the things that how do I say, the things that you believe into is actually correct. Because like I said, they're not demonizing Yeshaya, the name Yeshaya, Jesus, Christ. They're not demonizing Yehoshua. They're not demonizing those names. They being blunt and bold. You know what I'm saying? Like, which this might be a snare into their own ass, because like, yo, bro, you just put Yahushua's name on TV and you trying to propagate this to everybody else. Now, what if some people who don't even know about this start Google searching these things, YouTubing it, man? Again, going back to why they trying to take us off the YouTube, man. Ultimately, with the RFID chip, when they start pushing that, they don't want people to go looking it up. Oh, is this the mark of the beast, and find our videos, man? All right, so this is gonna be we're gonna start here in the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse 21. It says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. All right, going into these things, man. All right, and you could be in this here truth or whatever, whatnot, and then you may be living with your parents or a sibling or whatever, whatnot, things like this. All right, and then all of a sudden they see these they see the news article about the New Jersey situation, and they keep spouting out about the Hebrew Israelites. All right, then they have this name Yahushua up there. And then now your relatives may have heard you talk about Yahushua or anything like that, or the Hebrew Israelites or whatever, whatnot. And you know how Jake is, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, they do, oh shit, I think my son is a terrorist. Let me go call the police on my son, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for real, man. Like, for real. Jake, they got some pranks. It was funny. They got a couple pranks like this where there was one where there was a Jake, you know what I'm saying, so-called black kid, right? He did a prank with his mom on his mom, like he was trying to hit and kill somebody and had him in the bathtub, and he needed help cleaning it up. And the mom came in or whatever, whatnot, and started freaking out. And the only thing she kept repeating is, "I'm finna call the police. I'm calling you, going to jail. I ain't going to jail. You going to jail." You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you should be an accomplice in none of this type of shit, but damn, look how easy it is for you to turn over your own kid, man, just to save your, so-called save your own ass, man. All right, but nevertheless, this is what it's gonna come down to, man. All right, as we out here on the highways and the byways preaching, man. All right, now, lo and behold, the FBI might roll up to your house, your job, talk to your parents or whatever, whatnot, and then they're like, "Why the FBI questioning me about this?" and so on and so forth. "You a terrorist? You got to get up out of my house," or whatever, whatnot, Or, "Nah, we call the police on your ass, man. Why you always doing this and that?" And they don't even realize this is the propaganda that they're pushing out upon you, man. So this is why the scriptures say what it says here in Matthew 10 and 21. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death. All right, because why? You can have your real brother. He might find out that, oh shit, the FBI done contacted me about my brother and this terrorist organization. I'm calling the police on his ass, and they take you to jail or whatever, whatnot, and he might get put to death, man. All right. And the father of the child, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just going into, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, your parents have been and gave you up just to save their own hide, man. All right. And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. All right. Because why? You may have some, the men of the Lord that's in this here truth. Then you have this new young generation that's coming up or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And trying to get some cool points or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how they are, like, oh, back in the old days, like, take out the trash or I'm going to do such and such. You had to listen to your parents. Nowadays, like, shit, I'm finna call DFAX on your ass. You ain't finna do shit. I wish you would. You got these kids that turn up against their parents and things like that, man. So it's not going to be anything out of the ordinary when these things start coming to pass, man. The more and more they start reaching into your, your life and things like that, man. All right, it's gonna be your own people that's gonna be the ones to try to throw you out to the damn wolves, man. All right, verse 22, and you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth unto the end shall be saved. All right, so now what are they trying to do in that news article, man? They're trying to make anybody who's speaking in the name of Yahushua to be hated. Oh, anti-Semitic, this violence, they're terrorists, whatever, whatnot, because of this name, not because of Yeshaya, not because of Ahaya or Christ or any of these Yehoshua, any of these different names They're not persecuting you for those names. They persecute you for Yahweh's name, man. All right. But nevertheless, it says, verse 22 again, and you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endures shall be saved. That was all I wanted to grab there. Let me move along to, like I said, it's not going to be a very long lesson. I'm almost done here. This is Matthew 24:8. Let me go up to verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, tell us, what shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? All right. So, dealing with, the wars and the rumors of wars and all these different things, right? So this is starting at verse 8. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All right. That's what's coming from around the corner, man. And you seeing them setting these things up now. All right. So now more than ever, you need to be doing what, whatever you need to do to be able to be protected in those days, man. All right. Because, hey, it's really getting serious now, man. This is about to be a weeding out process, the fake from the real, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, looking at these other camps that don't want to tell you the name, the camps that's changing the name up, you know what I'm saying? All these different things, man. How come they not being persecuted? How come those names aren't being showcased on the news and things like that, man? All right? It's the one camp that's been giving you the 100% truth that they actually trying to demonize, man. The one that gave you that name and they're preaching that name day in and day out. Every time we open up one of our videos or close our videos, we give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, man. All right. But nevertheless, let me read this again. Verse 9. And then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then many shall be offended and shall betray one another and hate one another. All right. Again, you know what I'm saying? Like you and your own household, man. FBI come to your house or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Start questioning your relatives, and your relatives being all super simple and shit. You know what I'm saying? I can even see this with my own people, man, being all super simple. Nah, hell no. You got to get up out of here. We got to call the police on you. What you doing or whatever, whatnot, man. And I'm just like, yo, man, in reality, you have known me my whole life. You know I ain't on no type of shit like this. But nevertheless, you'll believe what they saying. And it's the same thing that, how they're trying to pull this here, veil over your eyes with all these things, man. Oh, Yahweh Shah is anti-Semitic or whatever, whatnot. Nah, man, that's just for people who don't understand these scriptures, man. Oh, they terrorists. No, that's because you don't understand these scriptures, man. All right, if you actually did your due diligence in reading these scriptures, you would know that these things will come. All right, and it's also, now it's being revealed, what is that real name, man? All right. Let me keep reading. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. Hey, like I said, man, it's being a clear line drawn between who is telling you the truth and who has been telling you lies the whole time, man. The RFID chip is being more and more manifest as being a mark of the beast. All right, they just putting Yahweh Shah's name up on the news, talking about it's anti-Semitic. All right, we see them with these false flags trying to come down on us. All right, so look, man, it's all being made manifest, all right? Verse 13, verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right, so you have to endure these things, man, all the way into the end. You got to endure this persecution, all right? You got to endure the things that may follow. You may get fired from your job. You may, be at odds with your family and things like that because, again, dealing with Jake, man, nah, get up out of my house. You ain't about to have me messed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, not even trying to consider, like, wait a minute, they might be lying on my child. You know what I'm saying? Not very many Jakes that never really crossed Jake's mind that maybe, I do know my child. I know that this ain't really how my child really get down or whatever, whatnot. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Especially the men of the Lord, they didn't see our whole life change, whether we told them or not, man. They see the discipline in our life. Oh, no, we don't eat that pork no more, man. We don't do this and do that no more. And the things that we want to change in our life to do is not wicked. We ain't did nothing wicked, man. All right, if anything, we put down all of our wickedness, man. We're not doing things that would warrant us being arrested and taken to jail. Besides, preaching this here truth, but being out in the world and things that we used to do in the world, man. We're not doing those things anymore. We put all those things to the side, man. We're not doing anything that will cause another man to come up and try to kill us or whatever, whatnot, i.e. sleep with another man's wife and things like that. So if anything, by all of our actions, we actually became better people as far as citizens that have to live around everybody else, man. But everybody else is waxing worse and worse, man. All right, they waxing worse and worse all around you, and they going on mass shootings and all kind of things like this and so on and so forth, and it had to be up into this here one time with the propaganda they put up, and you can see straight through their holes, man. All right, verse 13 again. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world. That's a lot. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. All right, and now that job is pretty much already done, man. All right, because the main way we was pushing out this here truth was on the YouTube. And we see YouTube coming to a slow end, all right? But nevertheless, when they make a complete end to the YouTube, all right, and you know, this is pretty much where it's going to be at, man. This gospel has been preaching to the four corners of the earth. You see camps growing up, different countries, different states, all over the whole globe, man. This gospel is being preached throughout the four corners of the earth, and now they're trying to get rid of it, which is what? Amos 8 and 11, the famine of the word, man. The persecution is coming down, all right? The Lord's about to put us into a situation where he can defend us, all right? To where the Lord can save us up out of these situations, man. Going into being saved from the hand of your enemies, man. But right now, they're not really persecuting us right now, man. They're not all up into our bit. You know, it's starting to turn up now. But before then, you know what I'm saying? Like when we go to camp and things like that, man, the cops is always around. They see us, they know us, whatever, whatnot. You know, one day they was like, hey, man, you guys are running a little late or whatever, whatnot. You know, trying to give us fist bumps or whatever, whatnot. But now all of a sudden, you know, they over here trying to demonize us in these type of things, man. All of a sudden now, hey, man, this is that persecution coming, man. All right? So I'm going to grab one more. We're going to close out. This is Luke 21 and 12. But before all these, they shall lay hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before the kings and rulers for my name's sake. All right. So look, talking about these synagogues, that's where these Jewish people be at. All right. And you just seen how they had the, what is it, AJC, the American Jewish whatever committee or whatever, whatnot. They trying to make these anti-Semitic laws. All right. They trying to bring you up for so-called hate speech for talking about these imposters or whatever, whatnot. All right. But nevertheless, you're going to be brought up for Yahweh Shah's name's sake, all right? Preaching in this name, not in these other names, because if you're doing that in any other name, any other doctrine, you're just putting Jake back to sleep. You're not really giving them nothing to benefit them, all right? So they're not really worried. That's not really a threat into them, right? Just like when you see Jake walking around with a blunt in his mouth, pants sagging, you know what I'm saying, tatted all up, man. Hey, the so-called white man don't look at him as a threat, man. The one that's a threat unto him is the Jake that's, you know what I'm saying, got his pants pulled up, you know what I'm saying, and can you know, understand certain things, you know what I'm saying, got a clear speech in the sense of like, yo, I understand what this is, I understand what that is, I understand how these things work and those things work, because why? They profit off you being ignorant and dumb to certain things, man, all right? Let me read this again, verse Luke 21 and 12, but before all these they shall lay hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up to the synagogues and into prisons and being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. All right, so look, man, hey, like I said, man, it's being made manifest, man, that, you know, we've been on the right path the whole time, man. Right, it's being made manifest who's the Lord's servants, man. All right, so nevertheless, this is returning unto you for testimonies. Like, obviously, I am pushing out the right name if that's the name they trying to demonize. All right, obviously, we are the Israelites if they trying to demonize us over this. You got all kind of other people, you know, they talking about some of the Sephardic Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews, the so-called black Jews, which you talking about Ethiopians, but nevertheless, you know, they'll make mention of all of them, but they won't let you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans be the Israelites, all right? But nevertheless, it says, verse 14, settle it therefore in your heart not to meditate before what you shall answer, all right? So, you know, you get caught up in this, you know what I'm saying, especially before you get caught up, man. Don't be trying to plan, all right, if the FBI come, I'm going to say this or that. If they arrest me, I'm going to say this or that. If I have to go to court, I'm going to say this. Nah, man, don't worry about all that. The Lord's going to give you, the Lord's going to give you, well, let me just read it. Verse Luke 21 and 14, settle it therefore in your heart not to meditate before what you shall answer. Verse 15, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. All right, so look, going into these here scriptures, man, is it not written? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's right here, man. I'm just reading out of this here book, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a problem with this because this is sharper than any two-edged sword, you know, piercing even asunder to the, you know, the bone and the marrow, man. It cut your ass deep because you know that you the wicked and you being, you know, exposed, basically. You know, that's pretty much what's going on. But nevertheless, don't take heed to it. Don't be trying to get yourself up out of this or whatever, whatnot by, oh, no, I'm not with this or I'm not with that or whatever, whatnot, man. Because, look, man, you got to stand firm for Yahweh Shah's name's sake, all right? And he going to stand for you, man, all right? He going to deliver you up out of these situations, man. But nevertheless, you can't, you can't fret at these things. You can't, you know, cower down at all these things, man. How long have you been studying? How long have you been watching the videos? You've been watching it and getting built up this whole long time just to call it quits right now when they revealing Yahweh Shah's name into the world on the regular news, when they saying it like that, man. All right, now it's the time to stand firm on what you got, man. And, you know, we've been rehearsing these things for so long. Now it's time for it to all play out. All right. Verse 16, and you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolk and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. All right, so you got friends in the world or whatever, whatnot, man. It could be something as simple as whatever, whatnot. Oh yeah, I know he be preaching or whatever, whatnot. You may go over to that friend's house or whatever, be around their kids or whatever, their family, or whatever, whatnot. That they see this article on these news articles on the news. They know that that's what you into, and all of a sudden, nah, man, they start thinking, I don't want this crazy dude around my kids no more. Even though they didn't know you since y'all was little kids, nah, I gotta call the police on them, man. Same with your relatives and so on and so forth, man. All right. Verse 16 again, and you should be betrayed both by parents, brethren, kinfolks, and friends, and some of them shall they cause to be put to death. All right. Hey, and it wouldn't surprise me. You might be living with your relatives or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? In the bed, sleep. You know what I'm saying? Everything all cool. Then they see this here news article. All of a sudden, they want to call the FBI or whatever, whatnot. While you sleep, they come in, guns all drawn, and scare you and wake you all up, all abruptly. And you're not prepared for that, and you just startled, and all of a sudden they shoot you down, man. All right. But nevertheless, this is what's going to be happening, man. Your own kinfolks, your own family, your own friends is going to be the ones that's going to turn you over, man. Verse 17. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Again, all right? Because, like I pointed out with that sign, man, what name are they out here posting up? What name are they propagandizing? What name are they trying to get you to stay away from? All right? What name are they trying to make people hate if you associate it with? All right? It's the name of Yahushua, all right? Verse 18, but there shall not a hair of your head perish, and your patience possess you your souls. All right? So, I just want to touch in on that, you know what I'm saying, as far as this here persecution that's coming. All right, we see it pretty much right there at the door, man. But also, guess what's behind that, man? All right, that's salvation is right behind that, man. Just like when in the midst of World War III, all right, when World War III started popping off as a hot war, we're not going to be all afraid and all scared and shit like that. Be like, oh, man, World War III coming. No, we're going to be rejoicing because we know, all right, in the middle of World War III, they're going to wind up shooting these nukes off. When they shoot the nukes off, the Lord going to come back in his chariots. Then we're going to be delivered. All right, so we one day closest to being saved up out of this bad boy. All right, same with this. Now they were starting to persecute us, man, because we've been on the highways and the byways for so long, preaching in these names. But now all of a sudden they trying to do something about it. All right. But nevertheless, I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.